Hello everyone and welcome to the Omega Metroid podcast from OmegaMetroid.com. My name is Andy Spiteri, joined by Doom Crossing. Doom, what's going on? How's your weekend? Was it busy? Because mine was.
Very busy. In fact, today is my only day off before the big event that we just announced and are about to go very much more in depth in today. So happy to be talking with you. And it's gonna be a grind, but it's gonna be so worth it in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have been, if you've been listening to the show for the last little bit, or maybe you were listening to ZeldaCast, or maybe you saw it on Blue Sky, we've been teasing an announcement for the 1st of February. And I gotta be honest, I feel like a lot of people probably knew what our announcement was going to be, but we officially unveiled it anyways, and we're gonna go in depth into everything that you are going to be able to see from this channel for the next little bit. So it is our I guess like pride. Like, I'm very proud to announce the Omega Metroid Charity Marathon 2025. That is what the big secret project is. It has been something that, God, Doom and I have been working tirelessly on for the last several months. And not just Doom and I, the entire Omega Metroid team has chipped in various different ways to really make this event come to fruition. And we're doing it. It's going to be live on the 12th of February here. So just in about a week if you're listening to this. So what we're going to do today on this episode is going to be a glorified kind of advertisement for our stream here, but we're going to have a lot of really great information for everybody about the stream. We're going to be talking about the types of games that you can play or that you're going to be able to see, who is going to be playing, who might be showing up as a special guest. We'll go over some prizes and different stuff like that. And of course, we're going to talk about our charity as well that we're supporting, the most important thing here. So, you know what? We announced it on Blue Sky. The response was incredible. I was nervous, like I'm always a little bit nervous when you announce a project like this and you're hoping that anybody kind of cares about it. And it seems like a lot of people did. And this project has just been such a great event for us, even before it even has gotten started. We've learned a lot. We've learned a lot of stuff. We've forged some new friendships. So I'm really excited about that. So we're gonna go into detail here pretty quickly, kind of give you an overview of where everything is going to be going down and everything like that. We've been telling people subscribe to YouTube for the last couple of episodes here because, of course, everything is going to be streamed over on our YouTube channel. So if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, do so now so that you can get alerts when we go live with each individual game. It's going to be a great event. I'm really proud of it. And Doom, I wanted to take this opportunity on air actually to specifically thank you for all of your work and contributions. I would not have been able to make this happen without you. So thank you for that and helping this kind of be a reality. This is the most ambitious project we've ever done by far. So it certainly takes a village, but every village needs a head honcho. So thank you for all of your work and prep and educating me on how to do a lot of stuff here. So it's been amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Like you said, this has been a team effort through and through. Like there is no one savior amongst that. Like everybody has contributed so much to this project and will continue to do so. Obviously everything we've done is prep work. The main event is going to be a 5-day extravaganza, all for a wonderful cause, especially at a more important time than ever, I'll say.
Well, and let's start off there because, I mean, that's what this is all about. Like, yes, we're going to have some fun. We're going to play some games. There's a lot of cool gimmicks. There's a lot of different stuff that you can do to, donation incentives and all that stuff. But, I mean, the brass tacks is this. Like, what matters at the end of the day is where this money is going to. And so, once again, we have teamed up with the Trevor Project. And we've raised some money for them before in the past. The Trevor Project is a wonderful organization. That really focuses on suicide prevention among young trans and LGBTQ youth. It really gives them a lot of resources. Just in order to help them be that community, be their true authentic self, live their life to the fullest extent. and be happy and at peace and be respected and acknowledged, which is what everybody deserves. And that community right now is, like there's a lot of bad stuff going on in this world, and unfortunately a lot of that gets taken out on that community. And so it was always in our minds that this is who we wanted to support. We wanted to make sure that those resources that were going to be raised go to the Trevor Project, so that it can go to people that need that help, because there's, like you said, like now more than ever is really a time where we need to be allies and need to be supporting that community. And that was something very important to me, and everybody on our team was on board with that. So I'm very proud to once again be doing our very small part to be raising money for the Trevor Project. And we are going to be playing games, and we are going to be having fun, but I don't know, hopefully this can make a difference and maybe even just one person's life out there, and that's really what it's all about. So the Trevor Project is where we're going to be focusing our efforts. The trevorproject.org is their website if you want to check it out and you want to go and see some of the work that the Trevor Project has done. I highly recommend it. I've watched a lot of their YouTube videos and series and stuff like that, and it's just it's a good cause at the unfortunately a time where it is needed more than ever. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be raising money for the Trevor Project. Again, I encourage everybody to go and check out their website. Donations are actually open right now. If you really want it, if you want to get ahead of the game, which a few people have actually done. We've had some donations trickling in already. If you want to get ahead of the game, donations are open now, and any amount. Hey, any amount at all is awesome. If it's $1, if it's $10, it's incredible. And if you're not able to donate, that's totally fine. Even just watching and sharing and commenting and having fun watching the games is more than enough right now. So if anybody wants to check out, and we're gonna go over all this information, but if anybody wants to check it out, we do have an Omega Metroid Marathon tab on our website right now. That'll give you pretty much all the details that we need to know. But yeah, that is who this is all for, and like I said, it couldn't come at kind of a more crucial time.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't usually go in depth on issues like that. Like we definitely we'll make a firm stand on stuff, but I think it's important, especially right now, to talk about a lot of the things that have been going on with the Trump administration and the trans community. Most recently, there was a blanket ban on creating passports under trans identities. They have to use their dead names, their birth names, and their birth genders on their passports now. And there have even been some reports that even some of those who did go along with that weren't able to get theirs renewed, which is absolutely horrifying. It's only been 2 weeks, and it's only going to get worse. And so we want to do our part in, again, just making, even if it's a little bit of a difference, just to do something for this marginalized community that is, frankly, in the crosshairs of a horrible attack.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no other way to put it other than that. I'm hoping everybody listening is of the same frame of mind that we are. Hey, you know what? If you're not, and that offends you, I hate to say, you might have to find another Metroid podcast, but I mean, that's what we're about here, and that's what we're going to do. And I hope that everybody listening is going to come along for the ride and help support this community, because it is something important to us, something important to me, and it was something important to the whole team as well. So that's what it's going to be. That's what it's all about, is the Trevor Project and helping the trans and LGBTQ community. So I'm really, I'm excited about this marathon, but and I'm excited about the games, but at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So we wanted to lead off with that, and again, and just encourage everybody to check out some of the videos, the website, some of the stories, the impact stories that the Trevor Project has had on people's lives, and it's really not a stretch at all to say that Trevor Project has saved a lot of lives. So there's a lot of people on this beautiful earth that might not be there, without the Trevor Project. So it is indeed our honor to be doing, the smallest little bit, so donations are open right now. Now that being said, I think that we should get on to kind of the fun stuff here, because there is a lot of fun stuff that's going to be going down this week. And let's start off with just the schedule here. So as Doom was saying, we are going to be kicking off on the 12th of February. And depending on what time zone you're in. So let's just start with Pacific and I'll run through. So this event is going to run 5 days from February the 12th all the way to February the 16th. It's going to be 14 hours per day. So that's a lot of Metroid that's being played. And you're going to see a lot of different games, but we're going to be kicking things off at starting Pacific time. It's going to go from 7 a.m. and it's going to end at 9 p.m. If you're Mountain Time, add an hour to that, so you're starting 8 a.m. and then you're ending 10 p.m. Central, you're starting 9 a.m. and ending 11 p.m. And of course, Eastern, hey, you get to sleep in a little bit. You're starting at 10 a.m. and then we're going till midnight. And again, that's February the 12th to February the 16th. So we want to go through and we want to break down some of the players, some of the games, some of the stuff that you could expect to see on the Omega Metroid Marathon here, because there's going to be a lot of fun activities here. And I guess that we should start off here with the first game, appropriately enough, that's being played is also the first game. I have to admit, I did this intentionally. I thought it would be apropos to kick off the marathon with the one that started it all, Nestroid. So we're playing Metroid for the NES. That is what is going to kick off the Omega Metroid Marathon. And yours truly is going to be playing that game. And the gimmick here is that I am not playing it alone. It is going to be a 2-player race between myself and Griffin, aka the Accursed Hunter, over on our Omega Metroid team. And the key here is that one of us is going to go to fight Ridley first. The other one is going to go fight Kraid first, and then we're going to converge, hopefully, in and around the same time and fight Mother Brain. And we'll see. I don't know. I'm not very confident in my gameplay, to be honest with you. That's a tough Mother Brain fight, especially if you're playing like 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't know. Has anyone ever done this before? Like, I feel like someone has to have attempted this before, like an opposite ends race almost. But yeah, I never thought. Yeah, I never thought of that before. But when you pitched that, I was like, that's a great idea. We should definitely do that.
Well, I mean, there's only so many ways you can run Nestroid, unfortunately. So I was like, yeah, let's have one person do this, one person do that, which is kind of cool because it makes it harder to see who's actually in the lead too, which is cool. So that's going to be going down to kick off the marathon, and it's going to be. By the way, if anyone's looking at the schedule here, all of these times are like guesstimates. That we're pretty confident we're going to hit everything here. But like if a game starts at 10, but it's 10:15 and it's just starting, give us a little bit of leeway here. Yeah. So immediately following that, we're going to have Metroid Prime 2 Echoes played by the man on my left. Wait, the man on my right.
Yeah. One of these directions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing too special about this one. We're just going to do a 100% run. However, I am going to make it my goal to include scans in that as well to make it a true 100% run. Mm-hmm. And we're also going to be playing on the GameCube build, which means no Spring Ball for Spider Guardian, original difficulty settings for stuff like Boost Guardian, Emperor Ing and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
I'm stoked about that actually, because I don't know, maybe this is the last year that we're not playing Metroid Prime 2 Remastered. That could happen. Maybe
it's possible.
It's possible. But yeah, so that's gonna be a fun. That's gonna be a fun time. That's a marathon game, and some of the Metroid Prime games here are long hauls. So Doom is gonna be. This poor guy is on from 10 a.m. My God, all the way to 6 p.m. MST. By the way, everybody, since I'm in MST Mountain Time, I'm just gonna. If I ever say a time here, assume I'm talking about Mountain Time. But yeah, that's what we got going on for Doom. He's gonna be in for the long haul, and I'll be in and out on commentary as well. But that should be a nice, just kind of casual playthrough, showing off the world of Metroid Prime 2. Following that, we're gonna get together. We got the Omega Metroid team, and we're gonna do a little bit of smashing. We're gonna play some Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's gonna be Metroid themed. So I mean, only Metroid characters. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Maybe we'll let a couple other characters in there. Who knows? But we'll do Metroid-themed stages, Metroid-themed characters, Metroid-themed items, Metroid-themed assist trophies, and I was about to say Metroid-themed Pokeballs. I guess that's not a thing. But yeah, so it's going to be kind of like an Iron Man match. We'll fight it out for I don't know, maybe do like a mini tournament or something like that. Do like a round robin. We're just gonna kind of wing it with Smash Bros. I feel like we could always just use a cool down between, you know, playing Echoes and into our next game. So that's gonna be a lot of fun as well. I don't know. Maybe we'll try some donation incentives there. Like somebody donates like $5, I'll try and wave dash or something like it's the Melee days. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's a horrible idea. But yeah, so that's what's going on for Super Smash Bros. I am really, really, really excited about this next announcement. So immediately following Super Smash Bros. At 7 p.m. Mountain Time, we are playing AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake. However, this is not like you've seen it before because while I will not be playing, you will hear my voice interviewing over the course of the game here. And I was privileged enough to get together and interview the creator of AM2R, the legendary Dr. M64, Milton Guasti himself. And for anybody that doesn't know, Milton is a game director. He's a game developer, excuse me, working on projects as we speak. So this is a busy guy, and he was so awesome. This guy, it was so incredible. He took time out to chat with us, and not only did he chat with us, but it was a long chat too. Him and I spent about 2 hours together, and we got really in depth. So if anyone out there has ever watched a movie, and after the movie's over, you're like, man, that was good. I'm gonna throw on commentary from the director or something like that. That's what this is. Like, you're hearing very specific talk about like certain bosses or certain level designs, certain Shine Spark puzzles, certain we talked about a whole ton of different things. So it was a really, really great conversation, and Milton was generous enough to to lend his time in order to do that. We couldn't record it live, so we recorded it about a week or so ago, but it's going to be awesome. And I think you guys are going to get a lot of information about kind of the behind the scenes of AM2R, some of the decisions that went into why certain things were done the way that they were in that game, and a whole bevy of topics. Like I kid you not, I had a list of questions for Milton, and I think it was just shy of 100 questions for 2 hours, which is a lot of questions.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, you guys did a phenomenal job with the interview. I'm still in the process of doing throwing up an edit together to see how that turns out. See if we want to go with the rough cut or we want to go with the edited cut. But yeah, from what I've listened to so far, like, it's just absolutely fascinating stuff, and you guys are gonna get such a kick out of it once you see the full thing.
Yeah, it's really interesting because, like, if you've ever wondered, like, why did this happen or why did that happen? It's that here's your answer. And not only that, but one of our like system admin, his name is Gameworm. I don't even know what his real name is, but the man, the myth, the legend. So he is an incredible speedrunner of AM2R. And he was good enough to play the game beforehand so that he could send me some gameplay of of AM2R. So our interview with Milton wasn't like 6 hours long, like if I was playing it. So he was also doing some incredible things there. So there's lots of really cool like speed running, like hacks and tips and whatever. Nothing like absolutely out of this world, but I was looking and his time, Gameworm, if he would have submitted this, he would have been top 10 on the speedrun.com boards for AM2R, which is pretty darn impressive.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was just like, damn. Like I knew you were good, but like, oof. It's funny because the original idea, if Milton would not have been available, was I was going to race Gameworm, and his 100% time completely poo-pooed all over my regular not 100% time. So
yeah,
really glad
80%.
that yeah. So that's gonna be day one. That's gonna be February the 12th. Kicking off day number 2, February the 13th, is going to be a long form playthrough. Again, nothing crazy, no special gimmicks or anything like that, but we're going to be playing Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. So it's going to be just a casual playthrough. Griff's going to play it. Doom and I are going to hop in and out of chat there and kind of just we'll talk about the game, what we think about some directions for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Coming in after that game. That's going to be really fun. That's a long one. It's going to be 8 hours long. So it's, strap in, because I mean, there really isn't a way to do Metroid Prime 3 Corruption any shorter than that, unfortunately, unless you don't play it. So, and we couldn't not play it. So it's gonna be a long haul.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be fun. And then
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to this game maybe more than anything else. And Doom, I'm gonna hand it over to you here. We've got Metroid Dread coming up. Doom, take the reins.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, this almost feels like the main event. I can't quite definitively say main event, but at least for me it feels like main event-ish. But so you just heard Andy talk about Game Worm, and him and I are going to be racing Metroid Dread. But this ain't your daddy's Metroid Dread playthrough. We are doing a Dread mode race. You heard that right, Dread mode, which means if Samus stubs her toe, she's dead. And for both of us, and we are going to race this game to the very end. And we're each going to be equipped with lives, 99 lives to start, to be specific. And what's going to happen is anytime someone makes a donation, a $1 donation will increase our lives by one amount. I think you have to say who you're donating to, and it increases their life. Yeah. And so that's basically how you're going to keep both of us alive. I will say though, our most recent times, we both managed to complete the game under that 99 life threshold. So it's going to be pretty intense. We've had some surprisingly quick times from the both of us. Certainly I've been pushing my dread limits to the max, and Game Worm is absolutely, as we were talking about earlier, absolutely insane at 2D Metroid. So this one is going to be one you don't want to miss. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of screaming from at least me. Game Worm's not much of a screamer. I will definitely be screaming a few times.
It would be a shame if you guys are doing pretty well and a certain, let's just call him a crooked commissioner maybe of Omega Metroid, took the lives from 80 and slashed it in half down to 40. That would be a shame, because we don't want to have anybody feeling too comfortable here in dread mode, because then you're not dreading anything at all. So we'll have to play it by ear. If these guys are too good, don't you worry. I will do something to make sure that they're looking over their shoulders and on their toes.
Yeah. Andy would never provide divine intervention. He would never even dare think about doing something like that.
No. If they're having the best run of their life, I would never interfere with that and slash their dread lives by 80%. That's not going to happen. I think. I don't know. So yeah, that was going to be really fun. There's going to be a live life counter on stream too. You do have to specify though. So if these guys are down to or I don't know, maybe we should do double damage time. If you die, you lose 5 lives instead or something. If someone donates $20 or something, they activate 20 minutes of double damage. I don't know. We'll play it by ear. But we'll make sure that you're not too comfortable. But you do have to, when you're submitting your donations, there's a little optional spot that you can type some text in. So if you're donating and Doom is getting his butt whooped and he only has 1 life left, you got to say all right, here's $20. Put them all towards Doom, because my God, he needs it. Or if both of them are down to 5 lives, you could donate $10 and say all right, give these guys 5 lives each, and we'll bring it back up. So that's how that can work. So yeah, that's gonna be really, really fun. I feel like that is a game I'm very much looking forward to, mostly because I don't have to play it and I can just watch you guys die. I'm horrible at dread mode, so
that does sound like a good time. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's gonna be very, very fun, and that is capping off day number 2 of the marathon. So the 13th there. However, there is no rest for the wicked, because on the 14th, on Valentine's Day, Doom and I will not be sending each other roses nor cards. We are going to be battling 8 a.m. Metroid Zero mission. It's a race to the finish. And I gotta say, our Zero mission times are pretty darn close. They're pretty close. I think yours is just better than mine, but mine's not too terribly far behind. So I feel it can...
You posted a couple that were better than mine by a couple minutes. I think it's gonna be dependent, I think, on our boss and route optimization, because I think we're taking pretty similar routes for the most part.
I think so, yeah. I'm not the best at Zero Mission. It's not my best Metroid game, but it's not my worst either. I think actually what it might come down to is Chozodia in the zero section, because like sometimes I'll get stuck on the last big room before you kind of go for the Chozo test fight, and if you get stuck there, oh my god, does it ever take forever to lose the pirates? So like that could be the difference maker as well.
I'm pretty good at Chozodia. My big thing that is, and this is gonna sound weird, but Mother Brain. Not that like I'm gonna die to Mother Brain, but just like it can be very easy to turn that from a quick fight to a long fight if you're not careful.
Oh,
and so that's one
too.
that and so that's one that I'm definitely gonna have to. I'm gonna have to pay very attention to my surroundings on that fight, because like especially if you hit just one Rinka right, and you don't have your screw attack, like that will just pinball you all across the platform into the lava, and not the fun kind of pinball like Metroid Prime pinball. It's a very
I am
unfun
not
pinball.
good at that fight actually. Like I was playing like a week or so ago, like when I posted that time actually, and I struggled. I got my butt whooped. It probably took me like it probably only took me 5 minutes, but it felt like forever to beat Mother Brain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was in the lava, and like that's a hard Mother Brain fight. So yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Especially by zero mission standards, because we've talked about how zero mission boss. I would not consider Mother Brain an easy boss. I wouldn't consider it like the hardest boss in the series by any means, but like it is, even by zero mission standards, it is definitely like Mother Brain's got hands.
Which is ironic, because Mother Brain doesn't, but she kind of does.
Not in this game, at least.
Yeah. So immediately following that, and I don't know, maybe we should put a wager, like whoever loses has to donate $20 or something like that. I'd be down for that if you would.
I'm totally down for that. I get paid next week, so
okay.
Yeah, I'll have some extra funds to spare.
You're on, buddy. So after that, actually, ironically, I am like literally playing all day on Valentine's Day, and my wife is just like, ugh, really? But happy Valentine's Day to her. So after that, it is going to be Metroid Samus Returns, which is going to be really fun, actually, because this is one of the first gimmicks that I thought of when I was kind of patching this together. And so like there's certainly some limitations for what you can do for a virtual marathon like what we're doing. But there are some things that you can only do on a virtual marathon like what we're doing, and Samus Returns is going to be one of them. So I'm a big wrestling fan, right? So we're going to steal a classic WCW gimmick, and we are bringing back Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal. And so this is going to be really fun. What's going to happen is this. I'm playing Samus Returns, and I have some pre-saved save states. And those pre-saved save states are going to take me to Metroid Evolutions. So there's one for an Omega, one for a Zeta, one for a Gamma, one for an Alpha, and there's one for a Queen. And so anytime somebody donates, and I think it has to be, I think I set the minimum of $5, but if you donate $5, that wheel is going to start to spin. And when that wheel starts to spin, it's going to randomly select one Metroid Evolution. So I'm going to have to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to have to go and fight that Metroid Evolution, and I have to beat it in order to resume my game. And here's one thing that I'll throw out there. For every Metroid that I kill in this playthrough, I'm going to donate $1. So there is what, like 40, I think there's 50 Metroids in the game, including the end. So if if we donate enough, and maybe on my 100th Metroid, I mean, rip to me, but hey, that's what is going to have to happen. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Actually, I think it's going to be a blast. So that one's going to be really cool. We do have kind of a fun trivia segment coming after that, where there's going to be two different trivia types of games. One is going to just be like standard Metroid trivia. The second is going to be name that Metroid tune. I think I can take Doom, but we'll see. And so yeah, that's gonna be fun. And spoiler alert, we recorded it already, so we know who wins. That one was tough to wrangle everybody together, but that one was a lot of fun. And there's some shenanigans for sure. Some intense intense results, let's just say. But that'll be cool, and that one is one that hopefully anybody watching is able to participate in chat and kind of do that with us as well. So that's going to be a blast. And then the main event for Valentine's Day, February the 14th. Metroid Prime Remastered. And once again, yours truly is playing Metroid Prime Remastered. Although, this is going to be what we have dubbed a crowd control Metroid Prime Remastered run, where displaying on the screen are going to be a bunch of different donation incentives. And if you donate, that influences how I play, what I do, and how I fight specific bosses. So to give you an idea of some of the stuff that we're talking about here, you're going to see stuff like if you donate X amount, I'm going to have to get 100% of the items in Talon Overworld, or I'll have to get 100% of the items in Phazon Mines, or I'll have to get all the beam combos, or I'll have to go and get all of the research scans, or et cetera, et cetera. And those are kind of the average, or like the obvious ones. But there's some other ones here too. If you donate $30, I'm going to have to go and get my butt into the Crash Frigate before I have the gravity suit and get that energy tank. That is way in there, like way in there after you activate the 4 gimmicks in the ginormous room that you have to very carefully jump through. If you donate $20, I am not allowed to use an X-ray visor to fight any Chozo ghosts at all in the Chozo ruins. Keep it going there. If you were to donate $10, I cannot use super missiles against Meta Ridley. If you were to donate, another couple bucks, like I'm gonna have to take on, I don't know, let's see, Omega Pirate with no power bombs allowed. That kind of stuff. So like, it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really interactive. I will tell you this for sure. Actually, the game is scheduled for 6 hours. I'm gonna be streaming till like midnight that day. So come and hang out with me for God's sakes, please.
The Omega Pirate one makes me sad because I actually do want to see you do the Omega Pirate quick kill. It is so much fun to pull off.
You know what? I can usually do it, but there are a couple times where I have to do a second cycle in order to do that. I hope that nobody does donate, but man, it'd be so much easier if that didn't happen. Please, if that didn't happen. But in the name of the Trevor Project and our brothers and sisters in the trans and LGBTQ community, damn it, I will stream until 1 a.m. if that's what it takes, and we'll get this done. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. So that's going to be a long day, though, man. Oof. Rip to me. Okay.
I mean, I think all of us are going to have at least one long day. You definitely got a couple of them, though, for sure.
I got a couple of them. Unfortunately, I'm right back at it at 8 a.m. the next day, February the 15th. This is going to be really cool. So we are playing a cross-world randomizer that features a mashup. I love mashups. Features a mashup of Super Metroid and The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Anybody that knows me probably knows that's very appropriate. I am a big Zelda fan. I have a Zelda podcast. I work at Zelda Dungeon. And I'm a big Metroid fan. I have a Metroid podcast, and I work at Omega Metroid. So it seemed very natural to bring my two loves together and do something that kind of celebrated both of those worlds. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I actually think that that's going to be like one of the low-key highlights for me playing the marathon, because I've dabbled a little bit in the cross world, but this is one where I actually didn't really want to practice before we get going. I kind of wanted to just like take it in as we did it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is going to be fun. So we actually got members, and Andy mentioned that he also has the Zelda cast. This is actually going to be another Zelda cast crossover. It's been a while since we haven't really had the opportunity yet to do one this year. But it's going to be happening now, live on stream, with this crossworld randomizer. We're going to have Allison, we're going to have Macias join, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. I actually had no idea that you didn't practice. So yeah, it sounds like you're gonna be going into this relatively blind.
I've played like just a bit, but I did want to be as blind as I could, because like this is just gonna be a showcase. Like we're not gonna finish the game. I'm sure we're not gonna finish the game, but I just wanted to like show it off, and we're gonna play for about 3 hours and just kind of go through it, and I don't know, maybe we will finish it. I'm not sure. I've not played it. I don't know what to expect. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun, and I did want to go over some of the special guests later, but I mean, yeah, that seemed like a no-brainer to have the Zelda cast kind of appear And for everybody keeping track, like we usually have done a crossover episode every February, because that's when my podcast anniversaries are. Like in February, that's when the Zelda cast, Virtual Theater, and Omega Metroid were actually ironically all started a year apart from each other. So that's actually the only reason we didn't do it this year, is because we had this event coming up. So that's gonna be really fun. Right after that, though, I have to admit I'm pretty excited about this. This is going to be a married couple playthrough of Metroid Blast. The surprisingly great, actually, I have to say, Metroid Blast for Nintendo Land. Not a Metroid game that gets a lot of love, a lot of attention, but one that I think is pretty fun and maybe sneaky underrated nonetheless. Samantha and I, my wife Sam, we're going to be playing Metroid Blast. We're going to be doing pretty much all the levels, depending on like how it goes. We'll even try some of the intense levels, which are very intense. Some of those later ones. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that. We'll fight Ice Ridley. We'll fight Ginormous Kraid. We'll try not to kill each other as we do it. You know what? Anybody that's married knows this. Like, if you ever built something together from IKEA, it can go one of two ways, right? And we'll see how this goes. We're either going to be a great team, or you might find my body somewhere, in the snowy drifts of Canada. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Let me throw it to you for this next one here, Doom. We got a Metroid Fusion randomizer coming up after that, which I think is also going to be a blast.
I wanted to ask you a bit more about that. First of all, Metroid Blast, we need to cover that on Omega Metroid someday. We haven't yet, but we got to get around to doing it someday, because there's
we should do it like after this marathon is over. To be honest,
it is surprisingly fun, despite being a part of a mini game collection, and really in depth too for what it is. But the question that I really wanted to ask you, have you and Sam decided who's going to be the gunship and who's going to be Samus?
I think we're going to trade off. I think.
Okay, gotcha.
We'll see, but I think we're going to trade off. I think most of the levels I'm going to be in the gunship, because I have a little bit more practice with dual analog controls. Samantha is how do I say this? Samantha sometimes struggles with holding run and jumping at the same time in like 2D Mario games. So I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Very, very good choice of words. I was to say, choose your words carefully.
Yes. I love you. Please don't kill me. But yeah, so that's gonna be really, really fun. And yeah, it's I don't know what to expect, to be honest with you. But Metroid Blast is going to be a blast. I'm again low key. I think like the Saturday morning is actually gonna be one of the funner mornings on this stream here. So definitely check that out. And then yeah, after that, a little Metroid Fusion.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a Metroid Fusion randomizer specifically. With one of our teammates, Zach. Mm-hmm. And this is correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Fusion is his personal favorite entry in the series, right?
That's a good question. I can't remember off the top of my head now what his favorite is. I know it's up there if it's not his favorite.
But he was very excited to do this. When we gave him the opportunity, he jumped on board, and so I'm definitely gonna hang around and chat and talk with him, because I've never actually witnessed a Fusion randomizer before, so I'm very curious to see how it plays out.
Well, I have to admit, actually, so I dabbled in it a little bit just to kind of test it out and see what it looked like for Zach. And one of the very, very cool things about Metroid Fusion randomizer, I think it's cool. Maybe some people won't, but like, there is no dialogue. Like, you start and you don't have to talk to Adam. He kind of tells you, he'll give you a hint if you ask him, but if you don't ask him, it's pretty much just like, go and do your stuff. So I played up until the end of Sector 1 in Metroid Fusion randomizer, and obviously every seed is different, but like, one of the very first items I got was the ice beam. I was like, sweet.
Oh!
Yeah. This is pretty cool. Like, it's Metroid Fusion like you have never seen it. So, that's going to be a lot of fun as well. So, and randomizers, you never quite know what you're going to get. So, we'll see how it goes. After that, we have got a showcase game here I'm assuming that most people are going to be unfamiliar with this next title. But I am going to be playing a very, very acclaimed ROM hack called Metroid Rogue Dawn. and it's an NES Metroid ROM hack. But it's a little bit different because you play actually as a space pirate version of Samus, which is kind of cool. You play as Dawn Aaron, sorry, and you're on kind of the planet SR388 before the events of Nestroid happen. So it's a prequel to everything. You're reporting to General Ridley. As far as a ROM hack goes, I would say the only one in my estimation that I've played that kind of outclasses this is only AM2R. This ROM hack has original music, original sprites, original. Everything is really cool. There's a lot of really sweet items that you can get as well. It's one of the best ROM hacks, like period. Not even a Metroid ROM hack. One of the best ROM hacks I've ever played. It was made by Grimlock, Optiman, and Snarf Blam. Shout out to Snarf Blam and the crew. So yeah, it's a really fun game. I'm giving myself about 3 hours to do it because I'm not very good at it, and the game is hard. So we'll go through and we'll explore that world. There's a lot of cool stuff to see there. I think people are going to really dig it if they've never played it before.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who's never played it before, so yeah, I'm very excited to see this in action.
Yeah. And after that, if you watch, I shouldn't say if you watch anything, you should watch everything that we do. But after that, we're not playing any games actually, but instead we are watching Metroid Other M, the movie. That is right. So, originally we were just like, we're gonna play the game and we're gonna act out the cutscenes here. And we were kind of like, well, God, that means that someone has to like play the game and memorize where to go and everything like that. So we thought what would actually just be a lot more fun is just watching the movie. And I'm gonna have some trailers for everybody before we start the movie as well. So bring your popcorn. And rumor actually even has it here, Doom. Rumor has it that Adam may have even authorized an adult beverage or two for this event only, for this game only. No other adult beverages, but for a Saturday night party playthrough watch along, maybe we can make an exception here. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be having a good time. We're going to be watching the cutscenes. We're going to be enjoying life. I'm looking forward to this.
You don't drink unless I say so, and you don't chug until I say so.
Maybe we do have to make some kind of arrangement where every time maybe a certain word is uttered, the baby.
I was about to say there's a couple of obvious ones.
I feel like the baby might have to be something where I don't know, so some sort of arrangement is perhaps made for that. So yeah, that's gonna be a blast actually, and I think it's what we need for a Saturday night after what's going to be a grueling couple of days before this. Lots of games being played. So that's going to be really fun as well. But that's not it. We're not done. We're going to get kicked off on February 16th. And I promise you guys, you do not want to skip this game. You might be tempted to, and I get it. But you do not want to skip this game. We are playing Metroid Prime Federation Force 4-player online co-op. Okay? And we'll get to who's playing in just a little bit. But that is going to be a blast. We have tested and we've tested as much as we can. This is the game of all the games, probably appropriately enough, that is going to be the most kind of janky and wonky, which I feel like kind of fits the bill for Federation Force a little bit,
Yeah, and I'm not going to be playing this game, but I am going to be joining the boys in chat because I'm going to be to give you folks a little behind the scenes peek. I'm going to basically be the master streamer that's going to be collecting everyone's gameplay and like putting it out to the stream. I'm going to be the central hub where everyone's gameplay is coming from.
Yes.
And so yeah, so I'm going to basically these guys, they're going to have to communicate with each other to take on these levels, and I'm just gonna kind of be watching over the stream, but also interacting with them, maybe give some pointers from my control room, since I'll have a live feed of everyone's screens, be able to see everyone's POVs. So yeah, I know it's Federation Force. This is gonna be so much fun. I'm actually really excited for this, and how much that I don't like Federation Force, and you'll understand why once we reveal our guest list.
Yeah, and you know what the thing is too, like I'm a sicko, okay, and I've played Federation Force from start to finish 3 separate times. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but anybody that's played Federation Force from start to finish once is probably just like, Jesus. So I've done it 3 times now, so like but I've never played it with friends, like online, like it was originally intended to, because I didn't know anybody that owned Federation Force, because nobody bought it, including me. I didn't buy it till like when we started this podcast, because I was like, I'm not buying this game. So yeah, it's gonna be a blast. We've tested it. If any game is gonna give us technical problems, and there's probably gonna be, listen, anybody that's ever done something like this, there's gonna be technical problems. But if any game is gonna give us technical problems, it's gonna be this one. So this is gonna be a blast. We're probably not gonna do like every mission, but we're probably gonna do a lot of them. We're gonna be playing for like 4 hours, so that's almost enough time to do almost each mission. And if by some act of God we finish each mission, we're just gonna play Blast Ball. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's gonna be a real fun time. So tune in for that, because that yeah, that's gonna be something where you just want to see what goes right, and particularly what goes wrong. And we're not done with the multiplayer gimmick after that either, because immediately following that, Doom and I are switching roles. I'm taking the master control room, position from him, and I'm going to be watching a 4-player multiplayer showcase for Metroid Prime Hunters.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun too. So we're going to be using the wonderful Melon Prime DS, which is a fork of Melon DS that is specially optimized to run Metroid Prime Hunters as best as possible. And we have a very fun team and a very appropriate leader to kind of walk us through the whole process, which again we'll get to in a moment. But yeah, this one's gonna be a lot of fun. You're gonna be able to see me struggle with mouse and keyboard controls, which is always gonna be a good time for all you folks.
You're going
back
mouse
home.
and keyboard.
Well, we have to for Melon Prime DS.
Wow. Well, you know what? There's a way to do it on controller, but it's convoluted. But I did it actually on controller, but it's convoluted.
I'm gonna be sticking with mouse and keyboard. It's just the simplest way to go, and then It's not my preferred method, but I mean, hey, it's playable.
You got to do what you got to do sometimes. Yeah. So I mean, for someone like me, like I'm not really familiar with a lot of the multiplayer modes on Hunters, because it's been such a long time. I don't even think I knew anybody that played multiplayer Hunter, so I didn't really play a lot of it. So it's gonna be cool. We're gonna be exploring like all the different modes and stuff like that, and we do have a very good tour guide to kind of take us through there. So that's gonna be a lot of fun as well. So ending that, we're gonna be playing Metroid 2: Return of Samus, and it's all of its green and black glory on the Game Boy, and Dominique is going to be kicking off that with us, and for anybody that has watched our video walkthroughs of Super Metroid or Metroid Dread, Dominique is the mastermind behind that. This guy is a wizard. Again, just very, very invaluable contributions to this whole marathon. And so yeah, Dom is going to be running Metroid 2. It's going to be doing a 100% run, so that's going to be a lot of fun, and nothing too crazy, just a casual playthrough of a great game.
Yeah, pretty much, and he's playing it with the original green and black filter too, as well. So no colorized hacks or anything. It is original Metroid 2, and it's I'm not gonna say purest form. It's not on an original Game Boy. Obviously, it's gonna be on an emulator, but it's gonna be about as pure as you can get in on a clean stream.
Yeah, and it's funny actually, because originally the idea was like, oh, we should do a colorized ROM and show off what this world looks like with color. And the more that we did it, I was like, we've got AM2R, we've got Samus Returns. Like, what makes this game special is like, it's black and green. Like, it looks cool. It looks like the computer in the Nostromo, like in Alien. Like,
yeah.
So we pivoted back to like the essence of Metroid 2. So I think that's gonna be really great. And finally, the main event for the 16th there, and closing the Omega Metroid Marathon, is Super Metroid. I will be racing Super Metroid, and I will be racing against a competitor that we'll go over here in just a second. We've given ourselves 3 hours. We'll see if we need 3 hours. Super Metroid is the one game that I'm like pretty good at, but I'm racing against someone that's just as good as me. So I'm really hoping that I can pull off a W here for the Omega Metroid team and send the crowd home happy. So we'll see about that. But yeah, that's going to be just a fun race. I might try and pull out an advanced move or two. I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh.
We'll see. Something to give me the edge over my competition. But I think my competition is going to be doing the same thing. So,
as I say, well, I already know. You already told me you know how to mock ball, so I'm fully expecting to see that. But yeah, I'm curious to see what other bells and whistles you have to pull out.
You know what? To be honest, there's not much. It's just that. But I don't know. Maybe I'll try and learn
He's just talking up his promo game.
Yeah. So that is going to conclude February the 16th, or is it? Or is it? I've heard rumors, hushed whispers, actually, that if we hit our stretch goal, and so you know what, guys, I wasn't quite sure what to put our goal as, so I put it as $750, and I hope that we can get that number. I'd be thrilled if we could get that number. I would be over the moon, but I wasn't quite sure because we did almost that in our last marathon that we did a couple years ago for the Trevor Project. We did almost that in like a day. So I was like, you know what? Let's put a stretch goal on for $1,000, okay? These whispers, these rumblings that we've been hearing are that if we hit that stretch goal of $1,000, there is an additional Metroidvania title set to be unlocked that we have to play. We don't have any details about what this mysterious title could be. However, the hint that I was given from the Omega Metroid board of directors was that I would not enjoy playing this game. In that it featured a Nintendo icon, a rotund maybe Nintendo icon. I don't know what that means, but I have heard rumors that this game will be, you know, on the docket if we hit that donation incentive.
Yeah, I'm sure you are gonna have so much fun playing that game, Andy. The board of directors would never do you wrong.
I mean, if they're willing to slash your Metroid Dread lives in half, like there's no telling what they'll do. So, yeah, if anyone wants to see a teaser of this game, go check out our thread on Blue Sky, because that'll maybe give you a more clear idea about what this mystery title may or may not be. I don't know. I have no idea, but it is a Metroidvania. I do know that. And I was also told that, you know, whatever series this is, I don't know, but I was told there's a lot of different gimmicks that this series has had. So there was sure enough a Metroidvania title in this series. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, if it's a Metroidvania, then obviously you're gonna have fun, because there's obviously never been a single Metroidvania that you've ever disliked. So.
That's true, except for Shadow Complex. That one was really bad. Except for a few others that I've played too as well. But that is the schedule and the gimmicks for the Omega Metroid Marathon. Let's go over and talk about some of these special guests that are going to show up here. And we've talked about a few already, but we'll lead off with Samantha Spiteri, who is, you know, my wife. I voluntold her that she was going to be playing Metroid Blast with us. I actually also voluntold her to be in charge of our merch store, but we're having some real issues with that, so we had to scale that back a little bit, but we'll get back there in a second. So Sam is going to be joining us for Metroid Blast, and probably hopping on commentary for a game or two here and there. It's worth mentioning as well that Lilith from our team, our social media manager, is also going to be doing some commentary. Specifically, she's going to be on Metroid Prime, helping me out with that game, and I think you are too, because I need all the help I can get here. Oof. And she's gonna be
I'll definitely stick around for Metroid. Even if you didn't need help, I would just love to stick around for Prime. But yeah, I'll definitely help you out when I can.
And so Sam's gonna be there, and of course we also mentioned Milton Guasti, aka Dr. M64, aka the guy who made the best ROM hack ever, AM2R, aka the guy who's also made some pretty darn good Metroidvanias, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and actually I'm currently playing Bo Path of the Lotus right now, and no surprise, but I mean it's pretty sweet. So yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be fun. We got Elias Thompson, the founder of Metroid HQ, joining us, and I'm going to be racing Elias in Super Metroid, and Elias is going to be jumping in on some Metroid Prime Federation for us. Elias and I actually go back like many years. We met at the 2018 Zelda Dungeon Marathon. I don't know if I should tell this story or not on the air, but whatever. We were playing cards, like I think it was Werewolf or something like that. It's like a card game where you have to pick out the werewolf. and we got drunk and like we were like playing werewolf, and the two of us were like screaming at each other, cutting promos on each other, trying to convince each other that we were not the werewolf. So and Elias is very stoic, like he doesn't give you a lot, so it was a very funny like personality clash. So he's an old pal, and he's gonna be racing me in Super Metroid, and he's damn good at that game. So we'll see. And you know what? Elias is, as mentioned, also the founder of Metroid HQ, which has its own Metroid marathons. In fact, one just happened in December. So he was, again, just a great resource for someone like me to kind of learn from and pick his brain. So I'm going to repay him by kicking his ass in Super Metroid.
Oh, there's your promo right
Shots
there.
Shots fired!
He was just building to that. I love it.
What you know about that? That's right. And so for anybody that doesn't know,
Elias?
I was gonna say like Elias is also part of Zelda universe too, so it's a little bit of like Metroid and Zelda crossover.
Yeah, you and Elias definitely know each other a little more than we do. We've interacted a couple of times. My big interaction with him though was actually when I was cutting together the Metroid Dread the live reveal compilation. That's what I was trying to spit out. And his is actually really, because you just mentioned that Elias is a very stoic person, and like his live reaction. And his live reaction is reflective of that, which is especially, it was so funny editing that into the compilation, because like if you watch like most people's live reactions, mine included, you know, we're screaming like hyenas, you know, especially like, you know, with the announcement of, you know, freaking Metroid Dread, like, my God, still incredible that we live in that timeline, but yeah, you have all these people screaming, and then you cut to Elias, and he's like, that's a new suit, which means this is a new Metroid game. I'm listening. And it's like, it's so good. And like, editing his, and editing his, like, his very like matter of fact, reactions compared to like everyone else just losing their minds. It was just such a great edit. And then finally, like when Dread did come up, that was like the little bit of emotion where you did get like and still low key compared to everyone else who screamed, but you get like a little chuckle out of him when Dread comes up. He's like, oh, and it's so great. So yeah, very happy to be working with Elias again, a fantastic guy. And it's gonna be a good race.
It's gonna be a good race, but I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. And sticking with Zelda Universe here, we've got someone else from Zelda Universe as well that's going to be joining our program here. Amanda Von Heil, who is also an old pal of mine. Unfortunately, we've never had the pleasure to meet in person, but you know, her being Zelda Universe, me being Zelda Dungeon, we go back a number of years. We've done podcasts together, and in fact, actually, we have done Name That Zelda Tune together a bunch of different times. And so I thought it was appropriate to have the one and only Amanda Von Heil, who hosts the Shine Sparker podcast, of course, as well, join our show to host the Name That Metroid Tune. And I've always told her this, like, Amanda's just like such a sweetheart, and I've always said to her, like, it's really funny, like, you and I are got to be the only two people in the world to host a Zelda and a Metroid podcast, because I think she also does the ZU podcast as well.
Oh wow!
So there you go. Like, we're, you know, if there's another one of us out there, I'd love to meet you. I really would. So yeah, she's going to be joining us for some Name That Metroid Tune.
Yeah, hey, you know what? If there is someone else out there, I say the more Metroid podcasts, the merrier. Like, keep pumping them out. Like I'm always itching for some new Metroid content. So if you want to create your own podcast as well, send me the link. I wanna listen. yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it's I love listening to other Zelda podcasts. I love listening to other Metroid like when people talk about Metroid and like even just like Nintendo podcasts. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. So yeah, we also have Kiwi Talks. You know him from his interviews, developers. You know, he's going to be hosting Metroid trivia for us as well. So you know, just a pretty smart guy, and certainly put us through the ringer for Metroid trivia. So yeah, most definitely. We had some stiff competition going into that. Like, it was not an easy fight.
It was not, but yeah, so that's going to be a really fun segment as well. As you previously mentioned, we have Masi Sagopian, the founder of Zelda Dungeon, joining us, the mythical Masi's himself, in addition to Allison Aletha, my co-host of the Zelda Cast. And I really have to say, like, you know, this marathon that we're doing owes a lot to Masi's, a lot. a lot of my ideas and a lot of the way that I've structured a lot of this marathon were inspired by how Moss has put together the Zelda Dungeon marathons, and I've been fortunate enough to go to several in Chicago, and my goal, aside from obviously raising money for a great cause, was to like have it be a professional production that would make Moss proud, So like I was like, okay, that's what I want to do here. So and not just Moss, but like there's a lot of people that work on the Zelda Dungeon team, Locke, Josh, Allison, Catherine, that deserve shout outs as well, and people from even before my time that put together that event that really inspired this event as well. So that's gonna be fun to have the gang playing some Link to the Past and Super Metroid, which is also good because Moss knows Link to the Past like the back of his hand. He knows where all the secret chests are and stuff like that, and I do not. So he's probably gonna save my butt a couple of times, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, that's unfortunately one area that I won't be able to help you in. I need to play Link to the Past one of these days. It's one of the hundreds of games on my backlog. I literally have zero excuses at this point. It's on NSO. But
I mean, amazing game.
That's
sure.
one. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I tried the Link's Awakening remake, I want to say 3 years ago now, and I really enjoyed that. So I know that like top-down Zelda is also going to be my jam as well. So I need to get on that one of these days.
Yeah. Well, let's go over to Federation Force here for a quick second, because we have got like one of my best friends in the whole world joining us here. You know him from Alien in Review, and actually you know him from Animal Well. We just did that a few weeks ago. Mr. Gooey fame, host of Virtual Theater, host of Flashback 64. I kind of told Goo, and I was like, hey, what are you doing on this day? And he's like, nothing. And I was like, great, you're playing Federation Force with me. He was like, oh. And I was like, yep, put it in your calendar because you're going to be playing. And so he was voluntold, but was gracious enough to go along with that. So thanks, buddy. And we've also got your pal, from one of my best friends to one of yours. We've got Mr. Joey Ferris coming in playing with us as well. You probably know him from Game Explain or probably just his own channel, which pumps out like awesome Metroid content. So Joey is a friend of the show. He's a friend of ours, and he's going to be coming to try and take down those nefarious space pirates with us.
Yeah, I will say he doesn't work at Game Explain currently, but yeah, you did. Yeah, formerly of Game Explain. He's doing his own content on his channel right now. But yeah, Joey's awesome. I just talked to him, or we met up at SAT Gamers Expo last December, and so we're about to meet up again. Again, like I said, I will not be playing Federation Force. I will be the man in the watchtower. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
You're like the dude in the CIA movies in like the control room where it's okay. The satellite picked him up here. Like okay, go left. That's gonna be a blast. And then like we said, the roles are gonna be reversed actually, because coming up next we have got Doom is partnering up with Griffin and one of our oldest kind of I guess friends of the show, that Metroid guy who again is like a renowned Metroid content creator that we've integrated with that Metroid guy before to do some stuff together and on my part, I just I never found the right thing, but I was like, this is perfect. Like let's get him over here to play some games with us here. And so they were very very gracious with their time. They're going to be playing with us, but our tour guide for this whole thing is going to be Spire Fan, who if anybody is a member of our Discord knows that this guy loves Metroid Prime Hunter. He loves Metroid Prime Hunters. And so I was like, there is no one better to show us how to do multiplayer stuff than Spire Fan. So this is going to be a great exhibition, I think.
Yeah. In case the name didn't give it away, folks, yeah. He is the encyclopedia, the authority on Metroid Prime Hunters. And so he was the obvious pick for this segment. And, we pitched the idea and he was like, tell me where to sign up. Let's do it.
Yep.
Very excited.
Very excited.
And I do also want to point out, we did just have that Metroid guy on for redefinitively ranking Echoes. That was a really fun episode. So yeah, if you want to see us chatting with a couple of other special guests, Doughboy and Trav Guy, check out redefinitively ranking Metroid Prime 2. It was a wonderful way to cap off November.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing these guys like mess around with each other on the stream. Just test out some of those hunter weapons. Who knows? Maybe we'll be seeing the shock coil back in Metroid Prime 4. This last announcement I think is really cool as a guest announcement, and more so what it means for Omega Metroid rather than, like specifically, because we haven't even decided like which specific games these guys are going to be commenting on. But we've got two people joining us here, Roy and Torvis Bolt. So Roy is a creative director of Shine Sparkers, and Torvis Bolt, if you didn't know them from the insane Metroid Dread speedruns, is another content creator for Shine Sparkers as well. It was really cool to connect with these guys, but really I think the coolest thing was to build a little bit of a bridge between Omega and Shine Sparkers, who've always kind of like, it's wonderful, like we were always producing our Metroid content but never kind of had the opportunity to coalesce like this. So it's going to be an Omega and Shine Sparkers kind of meeting here, for the marathon, which is really, really cool. Shine Sparkers has been around forever. They've made some just, phenomenal fan albums. There's a lot of great interviews that they've done over on their site as well. And with like big interviews like Jessica Martin, the voice of Samus, comes to mind. That one is really cool. So very excited to be like working with just like getting to know them a little bit has been very rewarding as well. And so they're going to be dropping in and just offering commentary on a few different games. I do believe that they're overseas, so they're going to be here for kind of the earlier portions of the days rather than the later portions. But yeah, they're going to be coming in, and I think that's going to be great. And it's just going to be awesome to have them on, in the chat and talking and commentating and people to hear them kind of give their knowledge and insight about some of these games.
Yeah, I think aside from like, the actual charity work we're doing, I think this is personally my favorite accomplishment that we were able to do, because this is something behind the scenes I've talked about wanting to do for a while, building bridges with, more, avenues of the Metroid community, and like having something like this, just it feels right.
Yeah.
And so I'm very happy to be, collaborating, with these wonderful people, again, whose work, like, I've been checking out Shine Sparkers since like the day they launched. I've listened, to all the, so I've been listening to, to the incredible harmony of a Hunter albums. I actually wouldn't mind doing an episode on those someday, because there's fantastic collaborative projects in their own right. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very curious if Torvis can make that Dread Mode race in particular, because I feel like they would be the most appropriate commentator of all.
that would be good for that for sure. So yeah, that's what's going down. Those are the special guests, and I don't know, maybe we'll add some more, maybe we won't. We'll see. I'm definitely going to invite some of my pals to come and join us for Metroid Other M the movie. So if nothing else, maybe you'll see some familiar faces there. But yeah, that's going to be fun. There are going to be prizes. So this is what I've kind of decided on here. For every $5 donation that somebody makes, and it's got to be, you got to donate $5 to get yourself entered. But for every $5 that someone donates, after the marathon's over, I'm gonna take people who donate $5. And if you donate $10, that means that you get in twice. But I'm gonna take the names, enter them into a draw. And we're going to be giving away a couple things here. So we're going to be giving away some Omega Metroid stickers. Cool to have. But we're also going to be giving away one Omega Metroid themed trans pride specific design. And two, we're going to be giving away a pride themed design as well. I'm looking into a way to sell these t-shirts. That was the original intention, was to sell the t-shirts and donate obviously all the proceeds to the Trevor Project. We've hit a couple snags there that I won't elaborate on the show here, but for right now we're at least going to be giving away a couple t-shirts, some pride themed t-shirts, some stickers, some other stuff that we'll probably just add as the event goes on. And yeah, so there's going to be at least like something for everyone. So like, and I've kind of ordered some of those t-shirts to get a proof of concept of them. So hopefully they're here before the marathon starts. But yeah, that's going to be really cool. And, maybe we'll add some more stuff. I don't know, as more stuff kind of comes up there, but if nothing else, there's definitely going to be some pride themed t-shirts and trans themed t-shirts as well.
Yeah, we'll add Metroid Prime 2 HD when it gets shadow dropped during the direct that inevitably happens during the stream.
Yeah, that would be sweet. And I, like, honest to God, if that happened, I would give a copy away. Like if you donate, yeah, I'll give one away. For sure. So yeah, that's the that's the event. It's going to be the Omega Metroid Marathon, and it's going to be, once again, running from the 12th of February to the 16th of February, supporting the Trevor Project. A very important cause, a very wonderful cause, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really stoked. I'm nervous, but I'm stoked.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, hey, we've been planning this for months, though. Inevitably, something's going to go wrong.
Oh yeah.
but because we've been planning it for months, it's going to go significantly less wrong than it would have otherwise. And so, hey,
knock on wood.
Have fun. Regardless of the end of the day, regardless of stress, we're gonna have a lot of fun to help some people out, and that's the most important part of all.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's on tap for next, and so that means obviously that because this episode's coming out in a couple, so a little bit of behind the scenes here, but we're recording actually kind of early because our schedules didn't quite line up this week, but we knew that we had to get this episode out. So what that does mean though is that when this episode drops on the 5th, there will not be a new episode next week on the 12th because of course we're going to be streaming. It's going to be the Omega Metroid Marathon. But if you want some Omega Metroid content, I mean, by God, there's going to be hours and hours and hours for you there. So come and hang out with us on YouTube. Go subscribe now, Omega Metroid's YouTube channel. You'll get the notifications when we go live with each new game. We're not going to spam you too much with anything, but we'll let you know when each new game starts. And like I said, if you can, please consider donating. There's certainly some incentives for doing it. And if you can't, hey, that's okay. Just share and like. And you know what would be really cool actually is if you're not able to donate, if you could leave us a review, because I guarantee you that we're gonna get some bad reviews for doing this for the Trevor Project, particularly I think I said something similar about Zelda a couple years ago, and I don't remember specifically. Maybe it was about when Roe and Wade was revoked, but I said that we support women's choice on that show, and go find yourself another Zelda podcast to listen to if you don't like that. And as you might imagine, that didn't really go over well with a whole lot of people, as I unfortunately would imagine that something like this also doesn't go over well with a lot of people. So, and that's fine. I don't care. But if you want to give us a good review, I mean, that would be great to counterback some of the nasty ones from some of the bozos out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I also will say, just apart from the stream as well, if you do know a trans person in your life, reach out to them.
Yeah,
just check up on them. Just having someone to talk to and a friend can make such a substantial difference in times like these.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Like the Trevor Project has a line, like a direct line where you can reach counselors, you can just talk to people, and just talk. And for a lot of people, like that's all they want. It's just to talk. And so it's a very important cause. Like, I know we spent a lot of time going over like the fun and everything like that, but this is an important cause, especially right now. So I mean, that's what we're about over on Omega, and we'll continue to be about. So that's what we're gonna do. It is going to be a lot of fun, but it's for an important cause too, and that always is going to come first before everything else there. So that being said, I mean, I am really, really pumped for this event. I think it's going to be really awesome. So we won't see you next week, at least on podcast form, but we will be streaming over on YouTube. So drop in and come and say hi. It'd be awesome to see some familiar faces. It'd be awesome to see some new faces. You know what it would be awesome if you're a member of the trans community or the LGBTQ community, come and say hi, like come and hang out with us. If you like Metroid, that'd be great. Come and chill. Like come and watch us be bad at video games. See who could be worse at Metroid Zero Mission, me or Doom.
I mean, I can't think of anything funner than that. I love watching people play games worse than me.
So yeah, that's gonna be a really good time. So, and you know what? That's pretty much it. We were gonna take some questions at the end, but I think maybe we save that for maybe on stream. We'll answer some questions that we have.
Yeah, we've been running a bit long, so
it's a bit long. Yeah. Doom was unsure if we could fill an entire episode with marathon talk, and I was like, I think you underestimate my ability to.
I underestimated. Yeah. Very much.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to do it for us for this week. Again, Omega Metroid Marathon. So pumped. YouTube. Go subscribe right now. February the 12th to February the 14th. February the 16th. Excuse me. 14 hours a day. a lot of Metroid for you to gobble up over the next week or so here. So come and hang out with us, and all for a great cause, supporting the Trevor Project. We are going to get out of here, but of course we do want to encourage everybody to go and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Like, rate, review. Leave us a review. That would be so awesome. If you're with us on this and you want to leave a review, that would be much appreciated. And then, wherever, of course, you get your podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out over on Blue Sky, where there's a very detailed thread about all the guests, all the events and stuff like that. It's at Omega Metroid. You can check us out on Blue Sky, at Spiteri316, at Doomidal Cross. And, obviously, OmegaMetroid.com is going to be your one-stop shop for all the Metroid stuff here, guides, maps, but it's also going to have a link to the marathon. We'll embed the videos there so that you can check out everything going on if you just go to the website as well. So make sure that you do that. And hey, we even have a Patreon, patreon.com/SPNet. New episode of the Great Metroid Area Ranking just dropped, and we're down to the nitty-gritty. So make sure that you get in on that, and there's a ton of episodes for you over on there as well. That, my friends, is going to do it for us. So we will not see you next week, but we'll see you on stream. We hope to see you there. We're very excited, very proud, and very much looking forward to the Omega Metroid Marathon. So until then, everybody, take care.